Welcome back guys, and we're back again. This time we're going to be doing a portal's command block creation. And by this I mean a portal that you can run into and it will take you somewhere else, much like the Java plugins that you can get, but for Bedrock only with a few command blocks. So let's get started, and we're going to be going over two portals here. One's going to be the one that I've just showed you now, which you can simply just go in and it'll take you to another place, and another one which is slightly more advanced and it will count you down just in case you want to not teleport and you can just back out of it. This is the slightly more advanced portal. As you can see, I go in here and it's saying 543. However, if I come away from it, it will stop and I won't get teleported. However, let's go over the first one first. So let's go to the back of the portal right over here. Let's take out these two blocks and we're going to see two command blocks. That is all that it's going to take for this one portal here. Obviously each portal is going to have two command blocks, so what we're going to do is we're going to recreate this right over there, the other portal, so we can now teleport back and forth. Now let's quickly go into the command blocks here that we're going to need before we put them on the other side, and we're going to start with this one. Now this might look a little bit complicated, like a lot of sort of jumbled numbers and letters around. However, we'll go through it. It is actually quite simple and you can get it done fairly quickly. So this is basically testing for anybody within this region here, and we've made the region really exact. We've made it these two blocks going up to this block here, so it won't affect me stood right here unless I actually run into them blocks. The second command block is going to be a chain one, which is going to TP anybody within this vicinity to the area, and that is simply it for the simple portal. So what we're going to do now, we'll just head over to the other portal side over there, and we'll get going with a command block so we can make it come back again. So we're on the other side now. Of course, to get your command block, we're going to do a give. I'm going to do a S, so myself, and then we're going to do command block, and there we go, we've got a command block. What I tend to do is just do it within the two blocks nearest, so it's just really close to actually program or put the codes into then. So let's go ahead and put two blocks like so. And the first one is going to need the measurement of the portal here. So the actual measurement that we want to take is going to be from this corner right over here, and it's going to be to this top corner right over here. So what we can actually do to do that is we can stand right here. We can take the coordinates. So the coordinates are 1389, 65 and minus 330. Now the way that we're going to type this in, and also the reason why I make it so close, it's going to be because we can simply just type it in from here. So what we're going to do is we're going to select the command block right there. We're going to do the test4 command. We're going to do at A. So that's going to be at anybody in this vicinity. Then we're going to do a closed bracket, and we're going to start with the X. Now the X was the first one that we had there. So it was 1389. So we're going to do X equals 1389. Oh, sorry, 1389. Then we're going to do a comma to separate it, and we're going to do the Y value. So we're going to do Y equals, we're going to come back, we're going to check our height, and it's 65 there. So we're going to do Y equals 65. Now onto the Z, so Z equals, and let's go back one more time and check it, and it's minus 330. So if we do minus 330 right there, now we've actually got our specific point where we're stood here. Now we want to tell it that it's actually got to be out till this block and up until there. Now the way that we do this is we carry on within the brackets. We're going to do a comma, and we're going to do a dx, and then we're going to do equals. Now dx is basically on your first position how much it's going to be. So I'm stood here, basically it's 1389. Now if I take the steps up to here, you can see it's gone down to 1386. So we've gone minus 3 on the x-axis there. If it was this way round, it would be plus 3. However, it's this way round and we want to cover it up until that brick, so it's going to be minus 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to do dx minus 3. Then we'll do it equals. We're going to do a y for the height. A dy. Then we're going to do an equals. dy is going to be how high you want it. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3 blocks. We only really want it up to that that red panel right there. So we're going to come back and we're going to do dy equals minus 3. If we just expand that there, the last one to come, or almost last, will be dz, because obviously it's x, y and z, so we want to go see how much it is on the z axis. Now of course this is going to be straightforward, so we're not going to be going either 1 or minus 1, so you can in fact just put this as 0. Now what you're going to do is do a comma, you're going to do a c, and then we're going to do an equals 1, because that's going to be how many people it will affect in the area, and we want it to do it one by one with the portal. After you've done that, we're going to close the bracket off. Once you've done that, you can come over to impulse and you can change that to repeating. We're going to keep it as unconditional and we're going to change this to always active. What I also like to do is just change this to 10 ticks, which is about half a second. So it's not exactly instant, but it's pretty instant and it just looks a little bit better. Now, if I come into this area here, we should see that it will say that it's found Jdog. If you have got the command block feedback enabled, you will start seeing it on the screen as soon as you stand here saying you found Jdog. Great, so the hardest bit is now done. We can actually recreate our portal now, and we need one last thing. That's going to be the actual coordinate of where we want it to go to. So obviously we want it to go back to this portal here, so we want to link it. So I'm just going to fly over. We're going to take the exact coordinates of where we want it to land at. Then we're going to come back and we're going to type them in. So we want it to land in front of the portal here. So I'm going to take the coordinates of right here. So that's 14670 minus 572. So I'm just going to use the portal to actually TP back there. Why not? And we're going to go ahead to our command block over here. We're going to go into this and we're going to type in TP at P. We'll do a square bracket, R equals 4, so within a range of 4. The only reason I do that is so it only affects people here. So if somebody's stood over here, it won't also TP them too. Right, so let's go TP at P, R equals 4, and then we're going to put the exact location, which was 146270, and then minus 572. Now we're going to set that to chain. We're going to set it to conditional. And always active as well. So now if we back out of that, and what we're going to do is we're going to go into the portal, and as you can see, as easily as that, we've now teleported. We can now teleport back and forth through each portal, and you've basically now just connected everywhere up together super easily. However, this might not be enough for some of you, so I did make a slightly more advanced one with a little countdown timer. Really, just to look a little bit cooler, still does the same job, but let's go ahead and check that one out. And I've got to say, I really do love this feature. Normally you only find this on Java when you download Multiverse, then Portals, and then you still have a bit of a setup process, whereas this literally is 2 command blocks and you've got it all set up. So let's go ahead to the more advanced one. Like I showed you a little bit earlier, what will happen as soon as I walk in there, it will start counting me down to a teleport. Say teleporting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then it will teleport me to the other portal over here, as you can see. So let's go back there and let's go check out the commands of how to do that. And of course, if you haven't already, let's listen to my good buddy over here and leave a like and potentially sub to the channel if you want more content. So let's get down to the inner workings of the more advanced portal, and as you can see here, we have a variety of command blocks. It's not hugely complicated, it's just a little bit longer to actually make the countdown timer. This will work very much in the same way as the first portal. It's just got a few more command blocks to actually test that you're there, do the countdown, and so on. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a repeating unconditional always active command block. This is again set on 10 ticks, just about half a second before it actually reacts. Now what we're going to be doing is exactly the same as before. So a test 4 at A, and then we're going to be getting the information or the XYZ of that particular corner, and then we're going to be filling in the DX, DY, and DZ to actually make this square. I won't go over that again because we've just gone over this. So exactly the same as before, and then with a C equals 1. So whenever anybody walks in this area, they'll get detected and the commands will go forward. So what we've done now is we've got a comparator facing this way. Don't flick any switches, just straight as it is, right like that. It's going to be pointing that way. And what that will do, I'll show you quickly now. As soon as I go into it, you'll see it will light up. Once it lights up, it will then do that. However, if you come away, it will stop, and it will stop sending the redstone to the command block, so it will actually stop counting down. It won't just keep repeating itself. So second command block is going to be an impulse unconditional needs redstone. That's so it will only start if the comparator is on. We've got no ticks in the delay here, and what we do is we actually start the teleporting process, or the chat coming down in the action bar. So we're going to do a title at P, so this is the closest player. Now you don't have to do this, but I always do a square brackets R equals 4, just to make sure it's within the vicinity, because otherwise, you know, if some person somehow dies, this might then move on to the next closest person. So if it's R equals 4, it's only within the vicinity of 4 blocks around this command block. If you don't want to use the R equals 4, but I do very much suggest you do, just take the square brackets out with the R equals 4 and then continue on otherwise. However, I do suggest you use it. So after that, you're going to do an action bar, so it appears in the bottom here, and then we're going to put the actual message, which is teleporting in 5. Now this one's the impulse unconditional needs redstone. However, the next one is going to be a little bit different. So we're going to come down to the next one. Of course, make sure they're all facing the same row into each other, and if they do go around a corner, they've got to be facing into the next one. So let's come over to this, and this is going to be a chain conditional always active command block. One thing to remember trouble with these, all the rest of the command blocks now, is that they do need a 20-second tick delay. That's because that is 1 second. So we're going to keep in line with how many seconds we're saying that it's going to be teleported in. So the next one is going to be much like the first, title at P, square bracket R equals 4, action bar teleporting in 4, ... rather than 5. And we're basically going to continue like this. So that was on a 20-second delay. The next one's going to be the same message, just with a number 3. Again, chain conditional always active and with a 20-second delay. And there is a reason why I did it this way. So just so you're aware and you're doing it the right way, I started 2 blocks from the right of the portal right here. It runs all the way around the back of the portal and then to the front over here. So as you're facing it, 2 blocks to the right, out the back, and then continue down. So let's go to the corner one over here, and it's going to be a chain, this time an unconditional always active, because the process already started. So we've got 20 ticks in that, and this time again the same message, just with a 2 second. So it's now counting down to 2. We're going to go down to the next one, and very much in the same way, chain conditional always active on this one with a 20 tick delay. This time it's going to be title at P again. However, this is going to be 1 second, and it's going to be the last countdown timer, which will then lead to our TP command. Now this has got to be a chain conditional always active, just in case anybody's left the area also, which means it won't go through. This also has to be a 20 tick delay, and what we're going to do is TP at P, again R equals 4, so only if they're in the range of 4, and you're going to be putting the location you want them to TP in. Obviously this is the location of the other portal, so once that has now reached the end right there, it will then TP me to the portal. So thanks for watching, guys. For any more videos like this, don't forget to leave a like, sub to the channel, and flick through the rest of the playlist. We do have plenty of command block inventions. If you do play on Java, we also have lots of Java features, plugins, installations, server tutorials, and lots of fun stuff like that. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you again on the next tutorial. Bye bye.